Now, as you can see, there's heaps going on here. There's no way on earth that you're going to try and draw all that. It's just not possible. It's not practical. So I'm not even going to try. So what I am going to do is just look at the basics. So maybe just so that you can see what I'm seeing. Let's maybe do that. And we zoom in on that little piece so you can see what I'm putting where. Let's see, maybe if I just zoom out to there. That's better, eh? So I'm not even going to try and get that the same. So I'm just going to look for the darkest little patches and things like that. And I'm going to suggest those guys. This is all about just suggesting. So I'm all the way down to a 4B pencil on this guy. You can even use a 6, it's fine. You can see this thing here is dark. This little shadow over there. Then it comes around over there and it's got this little piece over here. And let's see over here, we've got this little darker patch over there. And then it tends to sort of just roll down there like that. And again, that's a little bit of a shading. That is a shadow, so I'll fade him away. And here's a little darker shading that runs over there like that. Another one over there like that. Let's see, this shadow here is a little bit longer. Then there's a whole bunch of little lines and things. Here's a bit of a shading here. So what again, I'm thinking of a ball. In other words, this piece here is closer to the light. As it curls up, this point more towards the light, and as that curls back, you'll point less towards the light. Okay, and so let's see over here, we've got odd little goodies over there. So it's just squiggles and things just to suggest stuff. Let's see, there's a little line going over there, and then there's another little darker, funny, triangle piece over there. So there's just no way that I'm gonna, and there seems to be a little bit of a little kink over there. There's a little kink over there. As this actual skin itself is bent. Okay. And then here we've got a few little guys running up, say there like that. And there's a guy running, say up there like that. And here's just a few little dabs and dashes and things again. Maybe there's a little darker patch. And then let's see here, this is where it ends. So this is going to be all dark background. So let's maybe just suggest ourselves just a little bit of that background. That. For now, just so we can visualize the rest of this guy. Okay, so we know that this back edge over here has got to be darker. And say this edge over here. And then here on this piece over here, sort of a plateau before you get the mountain. I suppose you can call it. Will also be just a little bit darker, because remember, as he's curling over here, curling back away from the light, he's getting darker and darker, and then suddenly hits a high spot again. And maybe there's just a few little darker thingies in over here as well. And that's literally as best as we're going to get. Just a few little dabs and dashes and goodies. Alright, so let me zoom out and you can see what happens. See the overall picture? So it's just a few scribbles and things. It's quite weird, eh? Alright, so now let's move on to all these little loose bits that we've got. So let's while we're there, let's stick to this side over here. That's over here. We've got the little guy over there. He's quite dark. And here we've got a skin is quite close by, but you see there's a very thin little highlight over there, and then it curls back up, and there's a little piece there that catches some sun. So now I'm going to show you a cool little trick for that guy. Alright, I think let's finish him first. So I'll stick to my 4B, he's quite dark, that guy. So the first things first, I need a nice sharp line here to show me that distance over there. No, 4B is too dark. Let's go for a B pencil. And a super light touch. Even the B pencil's a bit dark, eh? You can even go all the way down to your HB on this guy. Okay, so this little back petal is darker than the onion itself. Clearly the onion is casting a shadow on it. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is just get the tonal value correct. Right, so now we can go back to our 2B and just suggest some of that detail. This guy's really small, you know, so don't try and get all sorts of fancy details and stuff. There's a definite line over there. Don't try and get all sorts of fancy details. Is not the main character. The main character is this this guy over here. So don't panic about not getting that right. Alright, let's go over here. So what we want here is that fine little edge over there. So remember, I've shown you that we've got these mechanical pencils. So I've got I've got two of them, right? I've shown you these two over here. So the lighter one has got the B, and that one there has got, say, a 2B in it, or this one's HB, and that's a 2B. I've actually got a third one, like that. Now what I've done with this guy is I've actually put a pin. Instead of lead inside, I've put a pin inside. So that gives me a nice super sharp point. Now when you do work with this pin, you have to be very careful. You don't want to damage the paper, you just want to score it. So what I'm going to do is over here, where I want that thinnest little line, I'm going to use this pin mechanical pencil. And I'm just going to score that over there like that. So it's a dent inside the paper. Now I'll use a nice soft pencil, like say a 4B, because this whole area is dark. It's just that little, just that skinny little line that's separating them. Let's see. You see that? It's just that skinniest little line over there. And now because I've scored the paper, if I don't press hard over there, that's scoring. The graphite can't get in there. Can you see that? Isn't that just awesome? It's so easy. It took a few seconds to do that. Alright, so let's get this shading done over here quickly. So it's quite dark. This area, so gradually work up right up to that little line that we've scored in there. And then over here we do have a little bit of a reflected light, so I'm going to lighten up this little piece over there. So it doesn't go white, but it is lighter. Like that, and then to get this little shading over here is dark over there, like that. And then it just fades lighter. So let's get a softer pencil, let's say an H, because that there is going to be really light. So you can even start all the way with a 2H over here, go so light. So it's a very, very quick little shading, and that gives us that looking in effect. And now you won't see that until you've again put in the background. So let's get this 6 BRLs in play here again. And let's get this background really, really dark. So I'm pressing hard now. Really hard. So that they're even darker than the onion itself. Carefully color in around that outline there, very carefully. Okay, now with this dark area in, look how nice that little light bit stands up over there. Okay, here, this is not right. Let's just get that in there. That in there like that. Okay, now with the background, there's a few things you can do. You can just give yourself a little bit of distance like this, and then you can just gradually fade him out like that. Or you can make it look a little bit more arty. You can just scratch it like this, and then as you go further away, because obviously you don't want to waste all your pencil on the background, right? Although you could if you wanted to. What I like to do is I like to really make it, because your drawing looks quite realistic. So as you go out, it's nice to make it look a little arty. So I'll tend to scratch in one direction like this. And then I'll go lighter and lighter and a little bit further and further away until eventually I'm ending up with just a few little lines like that. So that gives me a quick little fade, and it looks nice and arty as well. And makes your drawing just loose, just a tad less formal. So I'm just finishing up just a little bit of outline over here so that we can get this guy pretty much complete over here. Then over there. Right, let's zoom out a little bit and see how our onion is coming on. So it is quite a bit of work, eh? There's quite a bit of work involved. Right, let's zoom in over here. Let's do that bit. And just to give you a quick little view of what it looks like directly from overhead. So from straight on, in the correct perspective, that's what he looks like. Yes, can you see how these little shadows and things, and these sharp lines are giving us nice little bits of distance. Lovely. It's nothing like a little bit of texture, hey? Alright, so let's do that.